In the previous video lecture, we have covered ESA Act of 1948, which is one of the important act for the examinations. And today we will be covering Payment of Gratuity Act of 1972. Okay. Do remember this year, they can ask it in chronological order to arrange the acts. So it is also important to remember the years. This act is Payment of Gratuity Act of 1972. First, we need to understand what exactly is the meaning of gratuity. It is nothing but the benefit that is received by an employee for the services he or she has rendered to an organization. That means, if at all you have worked in an organization, then that company or an organization will wish to return you the gift back because you have served them. This is nothing but the gratuity. In simple terms, a gratuity is a form of gratitude paid by the employer to his employee for his or her services and commitment towards the company. Hope you understood the simple meaning. Now we will introduce the Payment of Gratuity Act of 1972. The Payment of Gratuity Act is genre of various status like the Minimum Wages Act, Employment and Social Policy, etc., which is an extension of labor laws, and it lays down the minimum benefits to be provided to the employees. That means it is nothing but the minimum benefit that should be provided to the employees by the employer. It is a social security enactment providing for the welfare of benefits of the employees working in industries, companies and organizations. The act has been amended in 2018, the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Act of 2018. At last of this lecture, we will be dealing with the amendment that have been done in this act, and it is important as the question in 2017 for EPFO exam has been mostly asked the amendment features, as the draft was prepared in 2017, therefore there were questions depending on the draft. So we can expect more questions on this amendment on 2018 in the upcoming examinations. We will see the applicability of act. That means where all this act is applicable. First one, every factory as defined in Factories Act, mine, oil field, plantation, port, railway. Every company defined in Factories Act, this Factories Act, we will be dealing with this act in the labor laws. Very soon we will be starting this labor laws classes. Next, where all this is applicable. The second is every shop or establishment to which Shops and Establishment Act of a state applies, in which 10 or more persons are employed at any time during the year end. Right? And do remember, whenever this act is applicable or applied for one time, then if at all the employee strength reduces from 10 to 8, then also this act will be applicable for that organization. That means once applied, it will be applicable for lifetime. Right? It will be applicable for lifetime. Next, the third applicability is any establishment employing 10 or more persons as may be notified by the central government. That means if at all an organization is notified by the central government, it may be PSU, and it is employing 10 persons or less than 10 persons, then also this act is applicable to that organization. See, the fourth one, once act applies, it continues to apply even if the employee strength falls below 10. Okay. That means even employee strength has been reduced from 10 to 6 or 10 to 4, then also this act will be applicable for that organization. The act doesn't apply to the central or state government employees and other employees covered by any other act for gratuity payment. Do remember, if at all an government employee, it may be state or center, and he is covered under any of the gratuity act excluding this act, then this act is not applicable over that. The employee under the Payment of Gratuity Act of 1972 means any person employed on wages for doing any type of work. Do remember, for doing any type of work, including those hired in the managerial or administrative capacity. The key consideration for gratuity payment is that the person should be employed on wages. This is important. That means if at all a person is employed on wages itself, okay, then only he is eligible for this benefit under the Payment of Gratuity Act of 1972. Those employees or employed as apprentices are not eligible for gratuity. because see, apprentices will not get the wages on daily basis, but they get the stipend. Wages and stipends are both the different things. Therefore, the gratuity or this act is not applicable for apprentice. Next, continuous service. This is the term that will decide the amount of gratuity or whether the gratuity will be available to the employee who is working. Now we will see it. According to this act, the continuous service means an uninterrupted service. What is uninterrupted service? That means he should work continuously for the organization. He should commit himself for the organization for continuously. And there is a minimum period of 5 years. Do remember, there is a minimum period of 5 years in order to get the gratuity amount. Okay, in order to get the gratuity amount. Any employee shall be said to be in continuous service. That means he can be said to be in continuous service even his or her service is interrupted by the way. There are some reasons which are not considered for the non-continuous service. That means if at all even by these he is suffering from sickness, or he may be accident, or he may be on the leave, or absence from the duty without leave. This is also important. Absence from the duty without leave, leave with full wage, temporary disablement, laid off, or maternity leave. Okay, even by this also he is not said to be in uninterrupted service. That means he is serving continuously, even he is under leave by all these options, right? See, initially in the 2010 it was decided that there will be a maternity leave of 20 weeks only. Okay, but in 2018 amendment it has been increased from 20 to 26 weeks. A woman who goes under the maternity leave is also considered as a continuous service for the organization, and it is not an interrupted service. It is uninterrupted service. In case of period of 1 year, employee will be treated as he is in continuous service if he is employed by employer for the period of 190 days employment under the ground in mines, or in establishment which works less than 6 days in a week. Okay, it is simple that it is applicable to the IT industries, because IT industries work 5 days a week. Okay, and here the condition is 6 days a week. Next, in case of period of 1 year, the employee will be treated as he is continuous service if the employee employed by the member of employee the period of 240 days. In case of other any establishment such as factories, companies, etc. If at all you are unable to understand, do read or re-revise this video so that it will be easy to understand, because it is slightly heavy to understand in the first instance, right? Next, these are some of the other periods, although this is not required for examinations, but if at all you want to read it briefly, please do read it from the handouts which will be provided on Telegram channel, and you can get the link from the description. Next, who is the controlling authority to applicability of this act? The controlling authority shall be appointed by the appropriate government for proper administration of this act. The government may appoint the different controlling authority for different areas also. That means the government may appoint the controlling authority for specific district, or it may applicable to the specific taluka or any of the specific village where the organization is situated. Next, payment of gratuity. Gratuity shall be payable to an employee on the termination of his employment after he has rendered continuous service for not less than 5 years. This is important. If at all an employee has been terminated, okay, he has been terminated from the employment and he has served uninterruptedly for 5 years for that organization, then he is eligible for the benefit of gratuity. He is also eligible for the benefit of gratuity if at all he has served for 5 years under this condition on his superannuation. What is superannuation? See, normally retirement age in India is 60 years. Okay. After 60 years, it is considered that he is not efficient for the job. Okay, he is not efficient for the job. Therefore, that is called retirement age. But some persons are compulsorily or voluntarily retired at 58 age. Okay, because they are considered inefficient at this age itself, and this age from where the person is considered to be inefficient is called superannuation, the simple meaning. And before superannuation, if at all he has served for 5 years, then he is eligible for gratuity. Okay, he is for gratuity. Next, he can also get gratuity if at all he has served for 5 years on his retirement or resignations. Okay, if at all he has retired or he has resigned from the organization, and after or before resignations he has served for 5 years, then he is eligible for gratuity. On his death or disablement due to accident or disease, the completion of continuous service of 5 years shall not be necessary where the termination of the employment of an employee is due to death or disablement. This is very important. It can be asked in the examination directly. If at all an employee has not worked continuously for 5 years and he has been terminated due to his death or due to accident and he is disabled, then he is compulsorily eligible for gratuity. Okay, these are only the two conditions where he will get gratuity even if at all he has not served the organization for continuous 5 years. What are those? That is, one is death and the second is disablement. A retired person is also entitled to gratuity amount along with his pension. This is important. A retired person will get both benefits. One is pension and the other is gratuity amount. In the case of death or disablement by accident or disease, the employer is under the obligation to pay the gratuity amount to the employee's nominee or the legal heir. That means, if at all an employee is working and he has died, right, his wife or his children will get that gratuity amount. As the case may be, irrespective of the number of years continuous service has been rendered. That means even if he has rendered 2 years also, he will get the gratuity amount. The Act also has a provision for the minors as a legal heir in which the controlling authority has to invest the amount in such banks or other financial institutions for the benefit of the minor until he or she becomes major. That means in India, a major is considered when he has reached the age of 18 years, and if at all a legal heir is of 12 years, until he becomes at the age of 18 years, the gratuity amount is invested in the bank. Okay, after he reaches the age of 18 years, he will get the amount that is deposited in the bank as the gratuity along with the interest of the bank. Now, how this gratuity is calculated? This is important. There is a simple formula. Gratuity is equal to monthly salary divided by 26 into 15 into number of years. You can remember this formula as if at all they ask in the form of numerical, then you can solve it easily. Now we'll understand what is this 26 and what is this 15. 26 is nothing but number of days in a month. Okay, it is number of days in a month. How it is calculated? Normally in a month there are 4 Sundays and these 4 Sundays are deducted from this 30 days month. That is nothing but 26, right? And what is this 15? Usually it is considered as 30 days, and in this divided by 2 it is nothing but 15 days are taken. Okay, and it is used for the calculation. See, in an organization I have joined for 3 lakh per annum as a starting salary. That means I am getting 25,000 per month salary, right? But at the retirement in the same organization, I will get a total income or say monthly income of 1 lakh rupees, right? That means I should consider the monthly income of my last drawn salary as my monthly income in the calculation of gratuity, right? See, what is employee for monthly salaried employees? Gratuity is nothing but basic plus DA. This is only considered for this monthly salary. Okay, not extra allowances are considered. It is only, see, if at all my basic salary is 40,000 and my DA is 12,000. Okay, it is totally 52,000 is my basic pay. So how I will calculate base gratuity? 52,000, 52k into 15 days of the month and 26 days of the month. into, now my service is 10 years. So 26, it is 2, 15 to the 30, 30 into 10 is 3 lakh rupees is my gratuity. This is the simple calculation. Hope you have understood how the gratuity is calculated. Just remember this formula because there we can expect a question on the numerical, right? Next. See, you can see the example of seasonal employees, how it is calculated. Now, what is the maximum limit for gratuity payable? Okay, in 2010, it was 10 lakh rupees. The maximum gratuity that the employer should pay to the employee was 10 lakh rupees. But in 2018, it has been increased from 10 lakh to 20 lakh rupees. From 10 lakh to 20 lakh rupees in the amendment of 2018. See, even if an employer wish to give more amount, that is more than 20 lakh as a gratuity, then he can give it. There is no any obligation or restriction that the amount should not exceed 20 lakh, right? If at all he wishes, he can give it. There is no restrictions, but they have extended it to rupees 20 lakh in the amendment of 2018. We should remember this number. Next, deduction in gratuity. See, if at all I am getting a gratuity, will there be any deductions? Yes, of course there will be deductions. How? We will see it. The gratuity of an employee whose service has been terminated for any act, willful omission or negligence causing any damage or loss to or destruction of property belonging to the employer shall be fortified to the extent of the damage or loss caused. That means, if at all any of the employees working in an organization and he has damaged the property of the employer, right, and the damage is equal to 5 lakh rupees because he has damaged a complete machine and it has cost 5 lakh to the employer. What the employer can do? Employer can deduct this 5 lakh rupees from the gratuity amount that should be given to the employee. That means if at all the gratuity amount is 10 lakh for the employee, he will deduct this 5 lakh and he will give only 5 lakh rupees as the gratuity amount to this employee. So this is the deductions. If the gratuity payable to an employee may be wholly or partially fortified, if the service of such employee have been terminated for his riotous or disorderly conduct or any other act of violence on his part, that means gratuity can be cancelled completely or it can be cancelled partially or it can be deducted partially when he has been, that is employee is misconducting or he is misbehaving or he is in the involvement of violence act in the organization, or if the service of such employee have been terminated, that means he has been fired or he has been laid off for any act which continues an offense involving moral turpitude, that means he is morally wrong, he is misbehaving with the staff, right, provided that such offenses is committed by him in the course of his employment. Payment of gratuity is not applicable to the employee who has been dismissed for the service for the reasons of indiscipline or misconduct. This is important. Payment of gratuity is not applicable. That means it will not be beneficial for the employee who has been dismissed. That means who has been laid off or who has been fired from the service for the reason of indiscipline or misconduct. Now, there is a compulsory insurance in this Act. Section 4A of the Act provides for the compulsory insurance to the every employer other than those belonging to the central government or state government. That means the central government employee or state government employee will not be beneficiary of this compulsory insurance by this Act through Life Insurance Corporation. However, those employers are expected from this provision who have an establishment and registered gratuity fund in their company. The government may also make rules for the enforcement of this section as and when necessary. Violation of this provision by anyone may lead to penalty. That means if at all any of the employer violates it, he will or he have to pay the penalty to the government. See, in this there is an option of nomination also. That means, as we said, if the employee died, then his legal heir will get the gratuity amount. Therefore, he can nominate the legal heirs also in this act. Now, there will be a determination of gratuity amount also. If you want it to read, you can read it from the handouts detailed. These handouts are very good and it is sufficient for the examinations. There are even inspectors appointed, as we have seen the appointing authority in the accounting also. In social security, in order to account or in order to see the applicability of this act, there are some of the inspectors who has been appointed by the government. See, if at all an employer delays in the payment of gratuity amount under the prescribed time limit, then the controlling authority shall issue the certificate to the collector on behalf of the aggrieved party and recover the amount including the compound interest decided by the central government and pay the same to the person. That means there is a prescribed time limit in which the employer should pay this gratuity amount to the employee. If at all he didn't pay it, then the inspecting officers can issue a letter to the DC or district commissioner and he can recover this amount from that employer along with the compound interest that is decided by the central government. This is important. The interest will be decided by the central government and this will be payable to the person who is eligible for that. The controlling authority should give the employer a reasonable opportunity to show the cause of such an act. The amount of interest to be paid should not exceed the amount of gratuity under this act. That means the interest, the compound interest that the central government will lay should not exceed the gratuity amount that should be paid to the employee. See, do remember it is not the simple interest, it is the compound interest that should be applicable on the gratuity act. This is very important. It is not the simple interest, it is the compound interest. The Payment of Gratuity Amendment Act of 2018. This is very important and there can be many more questions on this amendment, right? We will see the key amendments. The amendment has sidetracked the ceiling limit, that is maximum amount of gratuity payable, from 10 lakh in 2010 to 20 lakh rupees in 2018. Instead of mentioning and specifying the ceiling amount in the act, the amendment empowers the central government to notify the ceiling proposed so that the limit can be revised from time to time, keeping in the view the increase in wage and inflation and future pay commission. That means this gratuity limit will be revised from time to time. This is important amendment that is included in 2018. It also introduced in relation to the period of maternity leave. Initially it was 20 weeks, now it has been increased to 26 weeks. The Payment of Gratuity Act of 1927 is a welfare statute provided for the welfare of the employees who are the backbone of any organization. That means employees are the backbone of any organization, and in order to provide the social security, this act has been in power. The gratuity amount encourages the employee to work efficiently and improve productivity. Recently, by the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Act of 2018, the central government has tried to promote social welfare by providing leverage to the female employees who are on maternity leave from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. Right, this is an amendment in 2018. However, the scope of this act is limited to large-scale companies or organizations and is not applicable to organizations where the number of employees is less than 10, as we have discussed earlier. Yet, the act is complete and therefore it overrides other acts and statutes in relation to the gratuity. The only need of the hour is to change or modify the implementation of the act, as this act is still not followed by many companies or corporations. So for today it is more than enough. Okay, do revise this video and please read the handouts, as reading the handouts is very important. It will be provided on Telegram channel. You can join the Telegram channel and by the link that is provided in description. If at all you have any queries, please do comment. And please watch other videos that are provided on the playlist of the YouTube channel. If at all you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thanks for watching the video.